Sir, welcome back to another episode of Career Corner with my main man all the way from the United States. This guy is from Ola, it was a KZN, KwaNongoma, but he's based in the United States in Connecticut right now. Here to spread some knowledge with us about his career choices. Sir, can you please just introduce yourself to the camera and tell the people who are watching what is it that you do?
Hey guys, my name is Kuli. I'm Kuli Nhlapho. The full name is Kuli Nhlapho. I'm from KwaNongoma. So right now I work for the hospital over here in Connecticut. Actually, I work for their billing department.
You work for which department?
Billing. So I do most of the insurance stuff and all of that stuff.
Wow. Then how do you get to billing? Like from KwaNongoma, can you just backtrack and give us your journey? How did you take those steps for you to be working overseas, Ganjalo, like right now? Let's start from metric. From metric, what you did till you get where you are.
You know what? I was lucky enough. I had teachers that understand exactly what is important to expose us to. So I'll give credit to them. But listen, when I was in metric, one of the things that was in my mind is this. I read a book called Crocodile Burning. It was talking about a guy from Soweto going to New York, and that book inspired me to dream about America and start to think what America is about. So when I went to college, one of the things I wanted to do was to go to America and to explore the world. So I took hospitality management. I was lucky enough during that time that my parents managed to come up with cash for me to register and got FEFSA funds at that time. I think they were called FEFSA. And then after that, I ended up getting an internship, because Disney World, if you're familiar, they come around, all these people from here in America, camp, Disney World, resorts, they come around in South Africa, they recruit. You can actually Google now because you have internet. Before, they are here to recruit. So now I got selected. Thank a lot to my God and understanding that I prayed enough for it. So I got selected. When I got selected, I realized that I can actually make life in this country, so I stayed.
Okay, so how long have you been in the United States?
The first time I came was in 2003. So, and then I left, I went to the UK, and I went back to South Africa. I couldn't find a job in South Africa. Life was difficult. So I came back in 2005.
Or in 2005, and since you came back in 2005, which was the first job that you do when you came back in 2005?
So since I was in the hospitality industry at that time, so when I came back, the first thing I looked for was a hotel, restaurant, or anything that has to do with hospitality. So I applied for a hotel, and I got a hotel, and they had like a job for working at night. You know, when you work overnight, what you do is basically you put the paperwork together, you check in people late. I got that job and I worked. Okay,
so now how does that transition from you working from the hospitality industry to working in the billing industry like right now? Because we understand right now hospitality industries are taking a knock because of the COVID. Luckily, you were one of the people who jumped ship and changed industries earlier before this thing happened, because you're working in a hospital right now, what billing a corner, which is a major thing, because I believe you're one of the people that are called essential workers, right? Like right now.
Yes.
How does that jump happen from a guy who's not even from the country to move? Because there's people like right now in America who can't even find the job that you are doing. They can't find it. But when you're from South Africa, you are working and you've got multiple jobs. How does that transition happen?
My brother, I have to thank God, and also again, I have to thank them because they made me to always think about what is good for me. So let me be honest with you. So I actually switched the game when I realized that I'm not going to make money in the hospitality industry. So I'm not good in finance, I'm not good in mathematics or anything. But I challenged myself. I said, let me learn. Okay,
so before you continue, do you mind your head is cutting here? If you can, your camera, so that we can see this part.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry, man. As I said, I'm not good with these things. So
don't understand. The people understand. Yes, I think they will be fine. They will be perfect. They will be perfect. Yes, properly.
Am I good now? Okay, thank you, brother.
Okay, no, continue with that.
Am I good now, brother?
You're perfect, brother.
Okay, thank you so much. So listen, what I did is that I realized I'm not going to make money in the hospitality industry. That was clear to me. I wasn't going to make any money. So I had to come up with a plan that what can I do to be, which is the very important thing for a student, be marketable, be very marketable. When you walk in, people know exactly this person can actually work with us, can work for us. So I had to come up with a plan. So I realized that I wasn't good in math and all of that stuff, but let me challenge myself. So what I did is, when I was working for a hotel, I looked for a course in the nearest community college, which is accounting. So I decided to go and enroll in accounting. It was hard because I'm not smart in math. I graduated, got my degree in accounting. Listen, I wasn't going to do accounting. I had no business to do accounting.
Where are you studying accounting? Are you studying accounting overseas or are you studying accounting here?
No, over here. When I was here, that's when I realized. Yeah, I got my degree here in this country. So anyway, I got my degree in South Africa and also my degree here. So in South Africa, I did tourism management. When I got here, I realized it's not going to make much money for me. So I had to switch ship. But I still wanted, I wanted to do a job that I'm going to enjoy. So what I did is I enrolled in accounting, I graduated. And then now, look at this. So if I'm walking in with an accounting degree to apply for any job, that's 10 points in the bag, boss. So that made me have an opportunity to end up working for the hospital, the billing office.
Oh, so basically you were using your degree as leverage when you walk into any oh, by the way, I've got this thing here.
Exactly, because it's very important, my brother, to know that when you walk into any job, it doesn't matter what it is. If you walk into any job, you gotta actually look and present yourself as somebody who can get into that job. So that's why I decided that, okay, since maybe how about paperwork? Somebody who's educated. So if you walk into an accounting degree, they want to hear from you because they think you're smart. You think that you have numbers in your mind. But I don't have any numbers in my mind, my brother. The only numbers I have is a ching cash. So when I just applied for the job, I got it. They asked me about my accounting background. I told them everything. But guess what? I also have an interesting story because I'm from South Africa. And I ended up in America. Of which most people they don't want to talk about that stuff. They don't want to talk about how unique we are, how cultural we are. They want to talk about, I can speak better English. No, tell me what you want to know. Okay, I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you where I grew up, my culture and all of that stuff. And guess what? In that interview, we have a connection now because he's interested about me. I'm interested in the job.
Okay, and I feel like what you're saying is it doesn't only apply when you're in America, even here in South Africa, because you can move, let's say, from KZN KwaNongoma, office, just because of the uniqueness of who you are, they get impressed and they can say how actually we can work with this particular individual. Absolutely. And I like what you're saying, like, the degree that you got, or diploma in accounting, you weren't really trying to be an accountant, but you wanted something that's going to give you an edge in the job market. This guy doesn't only have this one thing or this one thing, but he has something that's bigger than that, and it opens doors. And that's very, very, very smart, Ganjalo. Something that now myself, I personally need to start thinking about with the degree I have and how I'm going to be able to use it and execute it, my brother. So tell me, because there is nothing that is smooth, how much challenges here that you are faced when, as a South African who's working overseas right now? Because tomorrow I'm going to have a child, he's going to want to go to America. There's challenges everywhere. What are some of the challenges you can just say, these are the things I faced during my career journey, or the things I'm facing, and when I just be watch out for 1, 2, and 3?
When it comes to career, probably it's a little bit complex because a career, it jumps from one thing to another. I don't want to dwell too much into it, but I want to talk about the personal side of things, which I think is very important. If your mind is not balanced correctly, think about it, Buff. If you come to this country, there's so many things that is taken from you. Umama, ubaba, auntie, all of these things, all around people that you hang out with, all of those people are gone. Those are the people that make you balance, Baba. Those are the people that listen. If you wake up in the morning and realize, But tonight, I was planning to go see my mother. I'm not going to worry about the food, but I'm so even whatever, I'm going to eat. So in America, all of that thing is coming from your pocket in Baba. Imagine again, you trying to have a career and you also have to provide for your apartment. You have to be no kusha. Next slide. Those are the things that make it difficult in this country. So, Umuto Sekaya who would like to come to this country, one thing I can tell you is this. First of all, try Tekaya.
Yes.
You know what I did in South Africa, which actually made it easier for me? I went to another country in South Africa. You know what is that other country?
Which one?
Limpopo.
Oh, really?
Think about me coming from Nongoma.
Yes.
What a difference.
It's a huge one.
I lived in Limpopo for 1 year, Mtagababa. And I'm not dissing Limpopo for people of Limpopo. Don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to tell you is that I had to actually, first of all, understand the language they speak. Because only a few of them speak Zulu, and the Zulu they speak, it doesn't actually, I don't understand it. I had to understand Shangaan. And then around that, there's also Portuguese people around there. Because there's guys from Mozambique. They speak Portuguese mixed with Shangaan. I also have to understand the vendors. There was vendors around me. So all of those people, they eat things that we don't eat, like mopani worms. I had never seen that thing. So that was a different country for me. So that trained me. When I got here in America, I was prepared mentally because why? I've lived without my parents, without people I know in a different country, in a different environment. I'll be in America, I'll be happy. No, you won't be happy. America is tough. And let me tell you something. America is worse than home because guess what? Over here, your cash speaks. If I have no $100 in my pockets right now, I won't survive a week because there's a cell phone bill coming and it's expensive. There is gas for me to drive to work right now and it's expensive. The house that I live in, we have to pay. The water, the electricity, all of those things you have to pay for. Imagine if you're working, like I was telling you, I had to reposition what environment I'm working in terms of career. So I can get a job that will pay me enough to cover everything. And now I've got 2 kids. Imagine that. And in America, let me tell you something, with kids, most of the time, the average, a week, hear me out here, a week for childcare, for Ingane, if you decide to have kids, is $350 that you pay a week, $350. Translate that into rands.
Obviously, I have my computer there. I want to do it while Usakuluma $250 with Malin. But it sounds like a lot of money. I think it's close to 6,000 right now.
Imagine if you have to pay that every week.
5,800 a week.
Imagine paying that a week for your kid to have somebody to watch them while you're working. And most people make like $10, $15. How are you going to survive with that? $15 an hour. So that means during the week, you taking home before taxes, maybe you're taking 600. After taxes, you're taking 380 to 400. So you're working for the babysitter. How are you gonna pay rent? How are you gonna do this?
That sounds hectic, bro. That sounds really hectic.
That's why a lot of people here, they work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. They're never at home. They don't take care of their kids. They are busy, and you can never be saying you're working 2 jobs because guess what? Uzothola isikhathi sokushibiza ukurelax. Uzothola isikhathi sokuthi ukuchile nomndeni wakho nezingane zakho at what time?
Yeah, it's hectic, Connor. You need to know what you're getting yourself into. And this is the first time I'm talking to somebody who's on that side and they're really breaking it down because it sounds like a nice dream. We're going to go to America. It's going to be fun. But when it gets there, it doesn't really become like that. And some people end up doing things they shouldn't be doing, end up getting arrested because you wanted this life. But your mindset, what you're telling me with your mindset, you need to have a mindset of say, I'm going to go there, I'm going to hustle, I know what I want. I think like that's another thing that I'm picking up from you, which you knew what you wanted. While you were still here, you knew because you came back and you were like, this is not working out for me. Let me go back and try to apply myself and do other things. And you even went and studied accounting because the hospitality industry and accounting, those are like oil and water. If I'm thinking about it,
Absolutely.
So what you are telling us, even in South Africa, I believe like what you're speaking about is a universal language, because we find people who even here, like here, just here, like so to you, because I'm in Joburg right now. Even though I'm KZN, I'm in Joburg. Gizofunda, but now Gifunda, say for instance a vet. I can't even make it a vet, Gila, a goal, and home is Joburg. Let alone to go make it on a different country where it's a culture and environment is totally different. You're not first priority because you're not from that country of color, so you're definitely not first priority, Anjalo. But for you to make it there is very much commendable, and I respect you for that, my brother Anjalo. I really respect you. So how are you finding the work that you do? Let's get to the work that you're doing right now. What does it entail? I said what you said you are what. I forgot, a bill collector. What did you say?
I like the fact that you said a bill collector, because that's also part of my job.
Okay.
I don't like to talk about that much because it's something I really don't believe in. But I know people have to pay their bills. But this is what I do right now. So I work for the hospital and I work in an emergency room. So what I do, my main thing.
Which part of America are you in first?
Oh, I'm in Connecticut.
Okay, Connecticut, okay.
Connecticut, to give people an idea, because it's such a complicated thing because it's far away. So Connecticut is actually, in New York, let's say from New York at the airport to Connecticut, it will take you roughly like an hour and 15 minutes to where I live. So it's not far from there, from New York. But from the state of New York, meaning the province of New York, it will take me probably like 10 minutes to drive there. So anyway, yeah, New York is big too. Connecticut is just a small state, it's next to it. But what I was trying to say is that what I do right now, basically, of which is something that I'm not really proud of, but I have to do, is that I work in an emergency room. So my main job is that when you come in, let's say you are sick, so I have to put you on the computer. And then I have to actually make sure that your insurance, because most people here in America, they use insurance, that it pays, that it pays the hospital. Second of all, if you don't have insurance, I have to make sure that there is a way that we can get money from you. So like, I pass all of that information in there. And then if you get admitted, I have to make sure that when you get admitted, that the diagnosis, like what you're being admitted for, is correct. And secondly, when you're getting admitted, that all the billing stuff is set up correctly. So in the middle of that, if you have what you call a co-pay, it's hard to explain. It's like your core insurance. Let's say your insurance cover $80. And then, so that means $20 is from out of pocket. That's the word, out of pocket. So I'm the one who's saying, hey, that out of pocket, you wanna coca now or how? Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. And that part of the job is not fun, because let me make a simple example for you. There's nothing so absolutely sad, than trying to get a $20 out of an 80-year-old lady, 80-year-old man who live on a very small budget. Very small budget. You're like, hey, pay up over here. You know what I mean? It's not fun, but it's part of the job. So what I'm saying is that sometimes in life, and this is something I want everybody listening or watching this to know, you're going to have to make some decisions. And those decisions are simple as trying to make a living. And part of bill collecting, as you said, is not something I'm proud of. It's something that I have to provide for my kids, so I need to work.
Okay. No, I get it, brother. I get it. There's a lot of very uncomfortable jobs that people do. I'm a cell phone but somebody has to do the job. The part that I want to focus on right now is the part of the job that you're doing and how you're executing it, and what the job entails, and what do you do, how do you execute the job. And you already told us, Kuti, how you got to the job, the qualification you had. You told us what you end up doing accounting. You moved from the hospitality industry to do accounting, and you moved from the hospitality to the finance. That's what you did. Yes. Yeah, no, I hear you. And then you've already broken down the challenges, some of the challenges that you face being on a foreign country that anybody can face, even just being from KwaNongoma to Durban. Exactly. A simple thing, KwaNongoma to Durban, that's like a 4-hour drive. a 4-hour separation, but it's still a thing, Anjalo. So I think it distance, it's although yours is extreme, but the people back Anjalo and they understand,
Yes,
and then anything you want to say to a person like we end, because I believe we've gotten all that I wanted from you. Anything that you want to add or say to people who want to pursue? You've already spoken about being in America, now hunting a job marketing, now going out and looking for work and choosing the kinds of job, because right now things are bad. Most people who are making a living right now are essential workers, like right now, meaning with your job, as much as it's recession proof, but it is recession proof because you're still able to apply, you're still able to provide for your family. In choosing a career now, the things that they need to look for, and especially in the field you're in, they need to look for to make sure they can be safe, because the whole point of doing this thing to make sure the kids that come after us, whether you're watching this 100 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you can always say, hey, that guy from KwaNongoma said something to me that I never forgot. Just one thing on issue before we end the interview to wrap your whole interview up.
Okay, my brother, first of all, I have to say that I really appreciate this platform and to connect with you. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, it's tough to actually tell people how they can control their career right now, because so many things are changing. Everything is changing every day. We live in a whole different world. What I used to do in 2001 is different than what I'm doing in 2020. So what I'm going to say is people need to actually understand that if you're going to actually focus on just being, let's say, an architect, or if you're going to just focus on being just a doctor, it's no longer going to be enough. So that means you have to actually try to get some other skills to actually make yourself be more either marketable or also be multi-available. So you can do one thing and be able to focus on another. Because the reason why I'm saying this, on this pandemic, over here, all over the world, I saw doctors losing their jobs because the companies they work for, they don't need them because they're not making enough money to pay them. So imagine that. When we need doctors, when doctors are being said, oh, we need more doctors right now, and some other companies say, no, doctors need to stay at home. How do you explain that? Because a doctor's job used to be untouched. I'm not saying that with our company, but I saw it happening with other people. So now, and secondly, now you're talking about essential jobs. An essential job is basically can be any job. It's just that it depends what is essential at that time. So it's going to change too on its own. So what I can say is that if people like yourself and some other people who are making a difference in the community, try to pay attention, because most of the things you're going to talk about are going to be things that are affecting people at the time. Then they're going to be able to figure out their own life better. Because the reason why I'm running away from answering that question directly is the fact that every day I've realized that things are changing every day. And secondly, why I say people should follow people like yourself is because a lot of celebrities out there or people on the platform, you know what they're talking about? They want to talk about silly things that are going to change tomorrow. Listen, today there's a big story saying Jada cheated on Will Smith. I talk about it, I joke about it, but is it going to make somebody who's 20 years old, just finished high school, ready to go into a job market or go to tertiary college, is it going to do anything for their life? No. So it's going to distract from the important things. But now I just had a great conversation with you. Something I can take a clip and give it to somebody else who's going through this and say, listen, those are the people you want to follow. So I would say that you guys focus on people that are trying to bring you information. Forget about people who are trying to keep you distracted, because that is not going to make you understand what to do tomorrow. Don't just listen to people like me. Also listen to other people who are actually bringing more information for you. Coming into America, which is the last thing I'm going to say, for people who want to come into this country, listen, America is available for everybody, but right now we are run by an iron fist called Trump. Anyway, I'm not going to lie to you. Trump is not a monster, but Trump is a destruction. Trump doesn't have any black men, so why you should worry about him? Don't worry about it. When you want to come into this country, and you can get to come into this country, come. Guess what? You just saw Kuli now who live in America. Connect with him. Ask him, hey daughter, doesn't is stuck in Tole Inda in New Jersey. Can you tell me about New Jersey? Oh, because when you come over here, you want to meet people, you can get help. Who knows? You might be living in my basement, you might live in somebody else's basement or in his couch. You just save a lot of dollars and you live with your life. I didn't have that. There was a time where I had no connection with South Africans. A lot of people are like that. And that is the worst thing you can go through. And another thing, before if you have information and it might not work for you, give it to somebody else. If you saw this interview talking about going to America or doing this and that, give it to somebody else who might use it, because that's what happened to me before I come to America. The person that told me about the interview is because they could not qualify for it. Why? They had other things. They got a job somewhere else, or they were doing something else. They were like, hey, America, I am teaching. Some people fail, some people make it.
Number one, brother, thank you so much, because we can talk all day. So I'm really just that. Thank you so much for your time, brother. Thank you for responding in such a very, very short notice. Technology is really taking us to a next level, and I'm really glad, Guti. At least something positive is coming out of this whole Instagram thing. Thank you. Be safe there. Make sure try and sanitize, wear your mask. That's what we're doing here right now. Thank you very much. And before you go, Brazo, slogan is shout and I say, Ratata, Keria Corner, Ratata, Oshai Brazo.
Ratata, Keria Corner, Ratata.
Ratata, one nation, Ratata.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Ratata, one nation, Ratata.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much for connecting with us. You'll see your video. I always say this at the end of each video. The videos are going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube on our page. And then, yeah, you can be there and we'll talk on before. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. And cut out.